Hi, and welcome to another episode of Scv In The Spotlight with Casey Thorpes. Today we have a fantastic guest. She is a teacher, a business worker, and she also is a national speaker, and she can show you so many things in the business world today that will help you achieve all your goals. With no further ado, I want to welcome a friend, Connie Sparks.
Thank you for having me, Casey.
Hi, Connie. I'm so glad you're here today.
Likewise.
We have to, first I want to tell people what your business is. You are the CEO, the founder, and the president of Wade Institute.
Yes.
So tell us about Wade Institute.
Wade Institute is a consulting firm, and what we do is we assist businesses, both startups, pre-nascent, as well as corporations, and we help them develop and design new concepts and new ideas for growing their business.
So this is for not only for businesses that are already in the works, but for entrepreneurs as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. So you can help a lot of people out there in this economy that are trying to start their home businesses.
Yes. As a matter of fact, the past 2 years, we have had more growth in startups than the previous 7 to 8 years. Wow. So this is the time right now for startups.
So how long has Wade Institute been in business?
Wade Institute has been established for about 10 plus years now, almost 11 years.
Really?
Yes. We started back in 1999, and yeah, so it's 10 years going on 11.
So you're based here in Santa Clarita, but you also have clients in other states and probably even further out, right?
Yes, I work with the majority of my clients are here in California, but I do work or have clients within, I have Ohio, New York, Hawaii.
Okay, so you can help people, it doesn't matter where they are. You can help them via phone, via satellite, via internet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My clients who are overseas, such as Hawaii, I work with them via the web. Okay. So we have a webcam and we interact and do a lot of transactions through the internet and the fax, the email.
Yes, thank goodness for technology today,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? So tell me, what can you do for a person, an entrepreneur, a new startup business?
Well, what I do, I first sit down with a client who's interested in starting their business, and I do an assessment, more of an evaluation of their goals and their objectives. And then from there, I help them put together a strategic plan to implement so that they can execute that strategic plan to start their business.
So what steps should a person take to start a business?
The first thing is have a good idea. Okay, because not all ideas are good ideas, and I've actually had to, unfortunately,
tell them that's not a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely, because I tell clients what they need to hear and not what they want to hear.
Right.
And you have to be honest, especially today. You know, it's best to have a product or a service that is in demand, something that is really needed right now for the consumers. Because if you just put a product out there because it's a great idea to you, but it's not something that consumers or the business community could really use at this point in time, then you will not do well.
Well, on that note, I have a business that I can mention, and you tell me what you think about it. As a matter of fact, I already know what you think about it. PremierCreditSolutions.com.
That is a great business to start right now, to venture into. And the reason why is because right now, so many people, both our consumers and our business owners, have taken a tremendous hit with their credit financially as a result. So your particular business is definitely a need, because we need someone, or they need someone, to come in and demonstrate or help them rebuild what they have lost. Because, especially if they're trying to go for financing or buy a new home or something, credit is very important.
It's very important.
So they need an expert to come in and show them how to reestablish themselves.
Wonderful. Well, we get a good check on our business idea.
Absolutely, get an A.
Good. And we will be working with you on things. You also do financing.
Right, I do.
You have a program where you can help people get their funding for their projects and their ideas.
I do.
How does that work?
Well, it depends, because I have resources globally. So it may be a case where someone won't qualify for an SBA loan. I will then search through my other resources. Maybe they need hard money. Mm-hmm. Maybe they need just a bridge loan, a private investor. So I have different resources that I could help someone secure capital depending on their credit and other criteria. So, you know, again, having the gamma of resources that I do really puts me at an advantage for the business community. So what's going on right now with the small businesses? Are they doing better because they're individual, or is it the big businesses? Are they monopolizing now? I mean, what are the small people supposed to do right now? Great question. Small businesses, you know, let me give you an example. What I try to promote, encourage, and empower small business to do, because the corporate industry are trying to monopolize the business community because they have the resources. Right. So I try to encourage small business owners to do what I call recycling community business dollars. And that's work within our Center of Influence network. Mm-hmm. That's very important, because if we don't support each other, then 9 chances out of 10, a community business, which unfortunately I see a lot happening, are going to dissolve. Yeah, they filter right through and they disappear. Yeah, like absolutely. Mist, gone. Yeah. You know, and I've seen that a lot here, and that's one of the reasons why I created SCV In The Spotlight, so I can help the people of our community, as well as people even out of our community, but mostly to help our community strive and kind of thrive in their business, and give them a sense of hope. Say, you know, you can be on the show and thousands of people will hear about your business. You know, give them a little spotlight, right? Great, and your show, I mean, this is awesome. This is something that I believe every community, every city should have a setup such as yours, where small businesses can come in and get some type of exposure, because that's what's lacking, and that's the exposure and the marketing outlets that they have available to them. So tell me, what do you see as far as Wade Institute in your near future, and then we'll go further out? What are your bigger plans? Well, as you know, I have a publishing company, Win Publishing, and with that, by next summer, my goal is to start a publication called the Community Business Review. Yes. And that particular publication will focus only on the small businesses, let's say that's generating revenues under $5 million. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because I believe that is an untapped industry, market. We have SCV Journal, we have a San Fernando Business Journal, and they all focus on high net worth industries and businesses. And I mean, that's their market target group, and which is fine. But I believe the little people. Exactly. So that's why I am working on putting together this publication, so that we can put spotlight on our smaller community businesses. Well, as I mentioned to you before, I would love to have you on the show occasionally to do that, and that way maybe we can work that together, but we'll talk about that after the show. Absolutely. But that's a great idea. I think it's wonderful for our community. I think people will be able to utilize this. Is it going to be an actual paperback? Yes, it will. Okay, so people will have a visual. It won't just be online, but they'll have something that they can pick up and read and go through. It will be the distribution will be through direct mail, and of course we'll also work with other small businesses, vendors, who will allow us to place our publication in their locations. Awesome. So they'll have access. You're doing big things for, you know, and I won't keep calling them the little people, because I'm included in that, in that same little group, you know, but it is something that as a business owner myself, you have to look at, well, you know,
money is tight. It's tight everywhere.
Right.
So when that happens, you have to find the resources of what you can do to help, maybe save a little money and still get your word out there.
And there are ways to do that. Through my workshops and seminars, those are some of the things that I teach, and that's how to create or be creative in creating marketing strategies, because there are a lot of resources out there. So when I ask the question to some of my clients, well, what do you do about marketing? Either it's flyers, brochures, or by word of mouth. And there are so many other resources out there, that can be utilized. For instance, we have with the social media.
Right.
We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn. A lot of people, there's a lot that can be done through these vehicles. It's just a matter of knowing how to put together the right strategy to make it work for you.
I understand. So what other courses do you teach during your workshops?
I do how to start a business. I do business plan writing, business camp. I also do finding funding for those who are looking for particular funding for their businesses. I also have another class that's become very popular, especially right now because so many individuals have been displaced. It is called the How to Differentiate Yourself from Your Counterparts. And that's more designed for those who are getting to the consultant industry, who are leaving the workforce and are trying to find something to do. I show them how to take their work experiences and turn them into being a successful consultant.
That's a very interesting thing to do because, well, a lot of people out here, especially in the suburban areas, the women they raise the children and then they have nothing else. Right. And then they're like, well, what do I do now?
Exactly.
So do you help them figure out what they can do now?
Yeah, absolutely. In this particular workshop, we do an exercise, and it's how to identify the appropriate consultant business that you should actually go into. So there, like I said, there's a whole exercise, and by the time we finish with that exercise, they will be like, oh, okay,
they have
I can
all
do
kind
this.
of things that they want to do. They're like, oh, I want to do that and that and that. I kind of, I went to one of your workshops, and I found it to be very interesting, very, very enlightening. And uplifting, and it makes people, it makes them really think about, wow, I have opportunities, and that's what we want to hear these days. Everyone is like sick of hearing no, 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 you can't, there's no money, and we need to hear something that's going to tell us, yes, you can, other than, the big president, thing. We want to hear the reality, yes, you can, and you can do this, and I can show you how.